Hi everyone, I'm Tim Gunn, host of Lifetime's Project Runway. And all my years as a fashion consultant, author, and former professor at Parsons, the New School for Design, the question I'm asked most often is, how do I become a designer? Students are usually quite shocked by my answer. You can't be a successful designer, any kind of designer, without a strong knowledge of mathematics. It's true. Math is a critical part of the human experience. It's everywhere you turn in the world. And contrary to what I suspect many of you believe, it's not something adults invented to torture you. I know all of your teachers will agree with that. And I know one teacher in particular who's just as passionate about this topic as I am. My friend Manil Suri, a professor of mathematics at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Manil, why do you think math gets such a bad rap?
Tim, the problem is that many students believe math is just about arithmetic, about calculation. I'm not good at it, they say, or it's not interesting, or when will I ever use this? What they don't realize is that math is really about ideas more than anything else. Wonderful, awesome ideas that help us understand patterns in the world and teach us to think in new ways. And you might be really surprised by this, but it's also about beauty, something everyone can appreciate, even those who might say, oh, I can't, I don't have the advanced skills. Think of appreciating art. You can certainly enjoy a painting, even if you don't know how to paint. At its heart, math is just a game. Sometimes, as a mathematician, I feel like I'm playing the most amazing video game all day. So the next time you're given a math problem, think of it as a game or maybe a riddle waiting to be unlocked. Because when you manage to, you'll experience a rush that might just sweep you away. Remember, math can be fun and it will take you a long way.
Thank you, Manil. I couldn't agree more. As Manil says, math can be playful and stimulating, and you may be surprised just how relevant it is in your daily lives. But did you know that it can even be a little glamorous? That's right, glamorous. How, you ask? I'll show you as we visit a world I happen to know just a little bit about, fashion. So many of my students have told me that being a fashion designer would be one of the coolest jobs ever. Together, we're going to learn how math and fashion design go hand in hand. I've invited 3 young students, all aspiring designers, to join me here in New York City, where we'll visit one of the most famous designers in the world, my dear friend, Diane von Furstenberg. We'll meet her in just a moment, but first, I want you to meet these 3 talented students. Come on in, guys. It's so great to have you here. Very thrilling. Jessalyn is 14, and she's already received a Scholastic Art Award for fashion design. So has Drew, who's 16 and wants to be a costume designer for film. And Robin, who's 18, is thinking seriously about what skills she needs to be college and career ready. It's thrilling to have you all here. Are you ready to meet Diane von Furstenberg?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Diane.
Well,
How are you?
hi.
Mwah.
Nice to see you.
It's lovely to see you as always. Thank you. And thank you for letting me come.
Well, I will always let you
Ah,
come
thank you.
wherever.
Well, I'm on a very important mission,
Yes.
and I need your help.
Okay.
I have 3 very talented students I've brought with me. They're each an aspiring designer, and I want them to understand how important math is to the career of a designer.
Well, math is important to life.
It is.
Math is important to everything, but it's hard to understand when you grow up. You know, why would I need that?
So can I ask you to help me?
Yes,
Let them
I will
understand?
try.
Well, they're tremendously excited about meeting
Okay.
you.
All right.
Students, come on in.
Hi. Hi.
This is Drew.
How are
This is
you?
Robin. This is
Hi.
Jessalyn.
Come and sit.
And I want you to know a few things about the students. Jessalyn and Drew have each won art awards for design. And Jessalyn's 14, Drew is 16. And Robin, who's 18, loves fashion. I think she has her eyes set on medical school, but that could change. You never know. As you said to me, math is inextricable from your life.
I mean, I could never understand when my mother told me that geometry was the most important thing. I would just say, why? Why is it important? But now I do think about it a lot.
And I also want you to know that each of the students is in the process of working on a design project, an actual garment, and we plan on bringing it back to you
Great.
today.
Great.
I know that you want to ask Ms. von Furstenberg some questions. Drew?
When you were a kid, did you draw?
I did, but I did not dare say that I was a designer because my mother wanted me to be a scientist or, you know, something like that. I was very interested in literature, and I did like algebra a lot because for me algebra was like a game.
And I have to say, the wonderful thing about design is that it takes the abstractions of math and it makes them tangible, it makes them real, it makes them
listen,
visible.
if you want to design, I mean, you know, if you want to cut a pattern, I mean, math will help you. If you have to price a dress or whatever, math will help you. If you want to sell, math will help you. If you want to market, math will help you. I mean, whatever you do, math will help you.
You heard it from Diane von Furstenberg. Math will help you. It's essential. Robin, you have a question, I know.
Yeah, when you were our age, did you know that math would be so important to be a successful designer?
No, I don't think I did. I remember my mother telling me, but I also remember not believing it. But I do remember now her saying it and me understanding it and feeling a little that I should have paid a little bit more attention to it, probably.
Jesselyn.
My question is, how did you start your career?
Well, I started my career, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I ended up going and work for a man who had a factory. He printed for for beautiful scarves for Ferragamo and Gucci and places like. So he taught me everything about printing. And then when I decided to move to America, I asked him if he would allow me to make a few samples, which I did, and that's how I started.
And your design team, which is here, is using math all the time and all the various things that they're
But
doing.
not just in every facet of a fashion business you need, because you need to make projection, you need to cost, you need to sell, you need all of that.
Everything.
You need math. Yeah.
So it's the entire package.
That's
All right. Do you feel prepared to move on to the next phase of your designs? And we'll come back to Ms. von Furstenberg?
Yeah.
All right. Diane,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back.
All right.
All right, come everyone. We're in one of the sample rooms here at Diane's studio where a lot of creative thinking happens every day, and a fair amount of math problem solving too. It's the perfect place to start, and I'm here with our aspiring costume designer, Drew, who's brought that impressive drawing of his warrior monk cape. He's measured everything in the drawing, but now it's time to make it real. We want to know how he can make a life-size pattern for his cape based on his drawing. So Drew, is there anything more specific we need to know about your design before we create the pattern?
Yeah, my cloak has two sides to it. The
Okay.
outside is more formal and is sort of, the function is to protect the monk from the weather, so it's heavy and warm. The inside, though, is it's got earth tones, so it's camouflaged. So if the monk needs to, he could just reverse his cloak around and disappear into the landscape.
So it's reversible,
It is reversible.
and it requires two different conceptualizations of pattern.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's very good to know. It's very specific information. Thank you very much. Good. I've enlisted my good friend at Scholastic, math expert Kim Egan, to explain how to use scaling to find the new dimensions. And I've asked Project Runway Season 11 designer Samantha Black to construct all of our students' designs. All right, Kim, you were a former math teacher. Show us how to make it work.
I sure will, Tim. So Drew, the first thing we'll have to do is determine the ratio of the length of the torso in your drawing to the length of the mannequin's torso. I can see that the length of the torso in your drawing is 4 inches from the hip to the shoulder, and the length of the mannequin's torso is 2 feet or 24 inches from the hip to the shoulder. 24 divided by 4 is 6. That means that everything in your drawing is 6 times smaller than it will be in the pattern. So that's a ratio of 1 to 6. The length of the cape in your drawing measures 4 3/4 inches. The neckline is 4 1/8 inches wide, and the hemline is 6 inches wide. We can use the ratio 1 to 6 to find all of the measurements for your warrior monk cape.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, good. Now to use the ratio 1 to 6 to find the measurements for your pattern, we multiply each of the measurements from the drawing by 6. Again, Those measurements are 4 3/4 inches, 4 1/8 inches, and 6 inches. When we multiply each of those measurements by 6, we get a length of 28 1/2 inches, a neckline that is 24 3/4 inches, and a hemline that is 36 inches. So Samantha, who is building your costume, Drew, will design a pattern in the shape of a trapezoid that is 28 1/2 inches long, has a neckline that is 24 3/4 inches, and a hemline that is 36 inches. And that's how to make it work. Back to you, Tim and Drew.
Thanks, Kim. You made the math work flawlessly. Next up, Jesslyn and Robin have some choices to make that will require some critical math thinking. To do that, we're going to visit one of my favorite places in the city, Mood Designer Fabrics. From fabrics to trim right down to buttons, they have it all. Ladies, I want you to look around. This place is a fabric extravaganza. And talk about a major cool factor, Mood has it. Now, it's very easy to get lost here among all these bolts of fabric. There are thousands of them. It's also very easy to lose your wallet. And by that I mean it's critically important to have a budget when you're designing, because the cost of fabric can add up very quickly. Now, Robin, I want to hear why it is you chose to design a workout outfit.
Well, I'm an athlete and I wanted to make something that's both fashionable and practical.
Excellent. We like that. Robin has found the perfect bolt of fabric for the tank top and leggings, but it's sold in a very particular way. The fabric she chose is wide enough, but she needs to do a little math to figure out how much length to get. The price of the fabric is $16 per yard of length, and it's sold in quarter-yard units. Robin's fabric budget is $30. Can she afford to buy enough of the fabric to make the tank top and leggings for a workout outfit? Make it work. Out, Kim.
I'll have to flex my math muscles on this one, Tim. Okay, Robin, we'll have to use the measurements from your pattern, then convert the measurements from inches to yards, which is the unit that fabric is actually sold in. The total length of your pattern is 48 inches. That is the length of the fabric needed for the outfit. We'll add an extra 12 inches of length to leave room for error, which means you'll need a piece of fabric for the outfit that is 60 inches long.
So Robin, at $16 a yard, will it fit within your budget?
I really hope so.
Well, let's see. First, we'll have to convert inches into yards. A yard is equal to 36 inches. Robin, you need 60 inches of fabric. How many yards is that? To find out, let's do a conversion. We start with what we have, and then we multiply by the conversion rate, a number that's equivalent to 1. 1 yard over 36 inches times 60 inches is equal to 60/36. Simplified, that's 5/3 or 1 2/3 yards. But this fabric is only sold by the 1/4 yard, so we'll have to buy 1 3/4 yards since it's the closest fraction that is both divisible by 1/4 and is greater than 1 2/3. Since the fabric costs $16 a yard and you're buying 1 3/4 yards, your cost will be 16 times 7/4, which equals 112/4. That can be simplified to $28. And that means, Robin, you came in just under your budget.
Good news. It's not always easy to come in on budget, and you did it.
I'm glad I brought enough money.
Me too. Jesslyn has a slightly different challenge ahead of her. Her dress design calls for 2 different textiles, one for the body of the dress and lace to trim the collar and hem. Jesslyn wants to be able to afford both textiles, so she'll have to be sure to get more of the dress fabric, which is less expensive, and less of the lace. So Jesslyn, how much fabric do you think you'll need?
I think maybe 2 yards of the main fabric and about a half yard of the lace.
Okay, well let's see if you can afford both. Kim, help us out.
The first thing every designer needs to know is the amount of each fabric needed to make a garment. Jesselyn, you think you need a length of the dress fabric that is about 2 yards. You also say you need 1/2 yard of the lace. The dress fabric you selected is sold at a unit rate of $20 per yard. The lace is sold at a unit rate of $30 per yard. Both are sold by the 1/4 yard. First, let's see if you'll have enough money in your budget to buy 1/2 yard of the lace, which is more expensive. The lace costs $30 per yard, so 1/2 yard of the lace costs $30 times 1/2. That's $15. Jesselyn, that means you're going to spend $15 on the lace. Your budget is $50. We need to subtract the cost of the lace from your total budget. 50 minus 15 is 35. That means you have $35 to spend on the dress fabric. You need about 2 yards of the dress fabric. Let's see how much you can afford. We already know that the cost of the dress fabric is $20 per yard. 35 divided by 20 is 7/4 or 1 3/4 yards, which is close to your 2-yard estimate. So good news, Jesselyn, you have enough money in your budget for 1/2 yard of the lace and 1 3/4 yards of the dress fabric.
Ladies, thankfully you each have sufficient funds, so let's pay for your fabrics and get everything to Samantha so that she can bring your designs to life. Then we'll head back to the DVF studio. I have one more problem for you to solve, okay?
Okay.
We're back at Diane's studio. Now that the students have a sense of what it takes to make clothes, it's time to talk about the business side. Drew will have to make sure he stays within the film's costume budget. And if Jesselyn and Robin want to go into the business of selling their clothes, they'll have to think about how to price their items. The way it works is that the designers first set a wholesale price for their clothes. Remember, the wholesale price must be higher than the cost to make the clothes so that the designers can make a profit to be able to pay employees, buy materials, and make more clothes. The wholesale price is the price the stores pay the designer for their clothes. Then the stores mark up the price again before they sell it to the customers. Jesselyn, let's use your dress as an example. Now, it cost you $50 to make, right? And I understand that you want to make a 60% profit on each dress at wholesale, correct? And then the store will mark it up again, let's say by 50%. All right? So Kim, we need your help again. First, what will Jesselyn sell the dress for at wholesale? And second, what will the store price be? Help!
In order to get this dress in stores, we'll need to find the final sale price in 2 steps. First, we'll find the wholesale price with the 60% markup based on the $50 it cost Jesselyn to make the dress. And then we'll find the store price with a markup of 50%. First, let's find the wholesale price with the 60% markup. To do this, we can add the price the dress costs to make, $50 plus the 60% markup. That is 60% of $50 or 50 times 6/10. According to the identity property, if you multiply a number by 1, the product is equal to that number. We can use the identity property to simplify the problem. By combining like terms, you can see that the sum is equal to 50 times 1 6/10, which is 80. A 60% markup on the original price of the dress means that Jesselyn will sell it to the store for $80. So, Jesselyn will make a profit of $30 from selling her dress. The 50% markup that the store will charge is based on the $80 that the store pays for the dress. 80 times 1 5/10 is equal to 120. That means Jesselyn's dress will sell for $120 in stores.
So what do you think about the business side? It's a little more complicated. I mean,
Yeah.
Drew, in your case, you're going to be working with a tight film budget, most
Yeah.
likely, and you're going to be making items for which there's only one.
Yeah.
And Jesselyn and Robin, it's most likely you'll be going into productions, that there will be multiples of each item. So that's another layer of complexity added on top of things. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's really interesting to see like behind the scenes of what's on the racks.
Yeah, this is how those clothes get to the stores. And speaking of clothes, we have a nice surprise. We have Samantha Black.
Hello,
Hi, Sam.
guys. I've
Come
come
on
to bring your
in.
amazing designs to you, hand delivered.
Wow.
Robin, here's your athletic design. Jocelyn, your beautiful dress.
How thrilling.
I had
Great.
a really good time working on you guys' designs and bringing it to life for you, so enjoy.
From paper to 3 dimensions to reality, what do you think?
Crazy.
It's crazy. I agree with you. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you are enormously talented, and we thank you so much for your collaboration.
Yes, good luck today. It's very exciting, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you, Samantha. These are your designs. They're suddenly on the table in front of you. What do you think?
They're amazing.
They are amazing. Well, let's show them to Diane. Let's go. We're back,
Hi.
Diane.
How are you?
Wonderful. The students' designs are finished, and they're here with their designs. I'd love to bring them in one at a time.
All right.
Jessalyn, come on in.
Oh, did you do this?
She did indeed.
This is very nice. Should I critique it?
Well, I'd love you to.
Okay. So I love the top. I love the idea that it's a trompe-l'oeil, that it looks like a bustier, but it isn't, that it has a beautiful little color. I love this. I love the idea that it's wide. It's so beautiful here. The proportion.
Well, part of the reason there's a lot of fabric is that we were maximizing our budget as much as possible and using as much as possible.
Okay?
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Drew,
Yeah.
come on in. So Drew is a costume designer.
Oh,
And
fun.
does a lot of historical research.
Oh, wonderful. So what is this?
This is a cloak. Do you want me to put it on?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
Yeah, help me out.
What period are we?
Like 1500s, so medieval. Well, it's supposed to be really warm and sort of formal on the outside, and on the inside it's green. And basically, the idea was that you can reverse it.
So
wash and reverse it.
I love the combination of the fabric. I think that's really very nice. I do like the shape, but if you're going to be a costume designer, then you have to be more authentic than creative.
Yeah.
So if you showed this to me as a designer and you said I was inspired by the Middle Ages, but I wanted to put a little Western add to it, that would be one thing. Shape of it is very nice, and the combination of the fabric
for the full
is very
effect.
good.
So-
Okay, all right. Sit
All
down.
right, thank you. Robin?
What did you have in mind, Robin?
So I did athletic wear. So I wanted to do like a light windbreaker like jacket with a pair of pants and then a top with an open back.
Wow.
And I wanted to like highlight the lower back with that.
This will force you to do good exercise because you've got to have a very straight back.
Yeah,
I think this is very pretty.
thank you.
Very nice. I do like this and this. I think that the jacket, don't you think you would want a zipper or something?
I was thinking snaps
Okay.
to
All right.
keep
Some
the
closure.
keep
That's
the
nice.
like classic rugby jacket but
That's
bring it
very
into
nice.
a new fabric.
Very nice. Okay, great.
So we'll have you take a seat too. So considering it's their first design work, it's a pretty
Yes.
good beginning.
It is, it is.
Yes.
All right, so just let's remember the lesson of the day, right?
Yes, indeed.
Make math be fun. Because if you look at math as being fun, you'll be very good at it.
Indeed.
And not only you'll be good at math, but it will teach you all the keys to open all the doors in life.
It's very true. So I want to thank you. I want to thank our scholastic math expert, Kim. And how cool is design and math, everyone? Does
So
it get
cool.
any cooler than Diane von Furstenberg? No,
I don't
not
know
at
about
all.
that. All right, so good luck, guys.
Thank you.
We've had a great day. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Diane.
Thank you.
And how about you? Did you make it work in your classrooms along with us? I hope so. And what I really hope is that, like Jessalyn, Drew, and Robin, you've discovered a newfound appreciation for how cool math can be. Because in the end, it all adds up to this. Math is, well, Everywhere. It's not just in school or at work, it's in life, every day. From shopping to sports, from cooking to crafting, from managing your time to managing your money, it helps you connect to the things you love to do. And no matter what cool job you choose to pursue, math will be there to support you, give you confidence, and help you be successful. So the next time you ask yourself, why do I need to learn this? Just look around and you'll see why. Math will make it work for you.